Hi guys! So I have some great news for you all. I survived my first week of my last semester of nursing school. I think that the first week of anything, but especially nursing school and of each new semester, it's very, very overwhelming, and you can expect to be very overwhelmed and stressed and tired, and that is exactly how I have felt this first entire week of school. So I just wanted to give you kind of like a little update and walk you through on what I've done this week and how things went and how I'm feeling, and just kind of talk about how my first week went. So I want to start on Sunday night, which was the night before Monday when I started school. Sunday night I did not sleep well at all. I was, off of my normal schedule a little bit from the 2-week break I had, and then I was just so anxious about starting my first day that I didn't sleep very well. But one night of bad rest is totally fine. I can handle that. So on Monday I started class at 7:30. I only had one lecture from 7:30 to 12:30, and it was my critical care lecture, and that class went great. So far it wasn't too bad on Monday. It was very interesting and I really enjoyed the material. So then I went home on Monday and I did a little bit of studying, and then I was like, I'm going to go to bed early so that way I get a good night's rest for Tuesday. And Monday night I did not sleep well at all. I actually slept probably worse. Long story short, I was tossing and turning all night. I actually ended up waking up at like 3:50 in the morning, not falling back asleep, and I got up at 5 in the morning to go on a run, which, yay, that sounds very great, but that just goes to show like I was wide awake, not sleeping at all. And so Tuesday was a very, very long day for me. I had a 5-hour lecture from 7:30 to 12:30, my critical care class, and then from 1:30 to 5:30 I had my capstone class, which is all about this big research paper that we're doing. So during that class, they talked to us about our big 60 to 80 research paper assignment that we have due for this semester. And after not sleeping well Monday night and having all those long classes on Tuesday and then getting slammed with all this information and all these assignments that are due, on Tuesday night, I was not feeling so well. I was very, very tired. I was very, very overwhelmed and stressed, and when I get tired I actually feel physically sick, like I'm going to be sick. And so between the combination of all of this schoolwork and then not sleeping well, I was not looking and feeling my best on Tuesday night, but I survived. And luckily on Wednesday I actually had a day off of school, and it was very nice to at least be able to sleep in a little bit, like sleep in until 7:30. And then I woke up, I did my normal, I worked out and got ready, and then I spent the whole day on Wednesday doing homework and assignments and just trying to get on top of things and kind of get ahead on things, so that way I just can prevent myself from getting so overwhelmed. I know it's still going to be stressful, but at least I can prevent as much of that stress as I can. So Thursday I met my clinical group for my lab and simulation, and I actually really don't know anyone who is in my nursing program this semester because I was actually supposed to graduate in December over the fall semester, and I switched to finish my last semester over the summer. And so I only really knew going into the semester 2-3 people in my class before starting classes. So for my clinical group I really didn't know anyone. It was a new group to me, new people, and so I was kind of a little anxious going into Thursday, like, am I going to get along with these people? Because you usually get really close with like your clinical group in your nursing program because you're there with them a lot. And leaving my old nursing program friends and coming into this semester, I was kind of sad, like, oh, I'm not going to have my old friends anymore, but it's turned out to be kind of like a fresh slate and a breath of fresh air. And of course I miss my old friends, but it's really nice to be with new people who are so nice and welcoming and super cool people. And so actually I'm actually kind of glad that I've met more people than I would have if I just stayed with my normal cohort or learning community for my previous nursing group that I was with. And so on Thursday was our first lab and simulation day, and I was kind of anxious about going into this day because I knew for our simulation that it was going to be a coding simulation where we had to run a code, and I had never done that before. I have taken CPR, I know the basics of what I'm supposed to do, but then when you add this stress and like the intensity of someone coding, it can be very intense. But my instructor for my learning group was awesome. She said, you know what, you're not expected to know everything right now. You guys, this is on simulation time. This is not on real life time. I want you guys to think about what you're doing, and it's okay to take your time, because I'd rather have you guys think about it and do it right than try to just rush it and completely screw it up. So it actually ended up being really fun. What happened is I was with another one of my nursing program friends, and we were in the med room looking up the meds to go and give our patient, and then the patient's family member ran into the room and said, "My dad, he's not waking up, he's not moving, I don't know what happened." So we ran into the room, we assessed his pulse, we assessed breath sounds, we looked at the monitor, and he was in asystole, which if you don't know what that is just a flat line and not a good sign. And so I initiated doing CPR, and my nursing friend initiated doing the respirations, the breaths for the patient, and we called the code and got the code team to come in. And I'll insert a picture here. It's really, really blurry of me doing CPR. I took it from, we get video during all our simulations, so I looked up the video and watched myself doing CPR to see what I look like. But yeah, it was actually a good learning experience, and it went a lot better than I expected. And so Thursday was really great. It was fun to actually apply the information, and not to mention, on Wednesday night, I slept a ton better. I took a sleeping pill so I'd be out, and so Thursday I was ready to go. So then on Friday, it was my first clinical day, and we met at 5:45 in the morning, and it was a 12-hour shift, so we were expected to stay until we gave report with our nurse at 6:30. And I slept great Thursday night because again I took another sleeping pill because I was like, there's no way I'm going to survive a 12+ hour day without sleeping. And so I slept great. I went to clinical, and I was on the CV-ICU, so the cardiac intensive care unit, and it was my first time being on an adult ICU floor. And I was assigned with this nurse. His name was Mark, and so it was Nurse Mark and I, and he was a phenomenal nurse. And for those of you who have had clinicals, you know that being with a nurse who is really, really attentive to you and loves teaching makes a whole world of a difference in your clinical experience. And so I was so thankful that I got paired with such a great nurse. He let me do so much. I got to do lab draws, give meds, hang meds, do assessments. I actually felt like I was starting to become a real nurse and actually applying a lot of the nursing skills that I have learned but not really gotten to put into practice. One difference I've noticed from last semester to this semester is that it's like they're letting us open up our wings and fly a little bit. And it's really refreshing to be able to actually, you know, not just be kind of following your nurse and observing, but your nurse growing that trust in you that you know what you're doing and that you can go in and do things on your own. And so my nurse, he was great. He showed me how to draw labs off an IV and in the process of sending them up to the lab. And so he helped me the first time, and then the next couple of times I had to go do lab draws, he let me just go into the room and do it myself. And it felt so weird to me that someone wasn't like, you know, right there watching what I was doing, but it was also very refreshing. And I felt really honored that someone thought highly enough of me to like let me go into a room and do what a nurse has to do without being watched. So my clinical day went great. I actually was there until about 7 o'clock talking with my instructor, and the entire day just went great, and I left clinical feeling like, wow, this is why I am suffering right now and all the stress, and it's so overwhelming because of the end result, because this is what I know I'm destined to do. And I just was reminded of like the reason why I wanted to do nursing and why I chose to be a nurse. So that's just a little summary of how my week went. I plan on doing updates throughout my semester and making more videos. I'm not sure if I'm going to have like a schedule every week or twice a week or every other week. I'm just going to do videos as time permits and as exciting things or new things happen that I can share with you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more nursing videos, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.